Okay guys, we're ready to do our third and final video for this part of the directions. So this video is going to show you how to find a reliable, trustworthy website. Now we've already gone to Tennessee Electronic Library and used that to find a good a good encyclopedia article. But now we're going to use Google. Google is a great resource, but it's also a little overwhelming, and it also has a lot of things that are not necessarily great for us. So we're going to use Google, but we're going to use it in a way that's going to be most effective. All right. So again, you should have already picked your topic by now, and now it's time to find your website. I'm on a blank tab. I have Google open. I'm going to search for my topic. Now earlier I did the topic of epidemics, but I'm going to change it up this time, and I'm going to do the topic of, let's say, climate change. Just something a little different. Don't want to give you guys the answers if you're doing the epidemic project. So I'm clicking into Google, and now I'm going to search for climate change. Now, as you can see, as I search, Google's already giving me suggestions for climate change, and they are telling me what they think I might be specifically looking for. I've got 2019, Tennessee, solutions, Australia, all kinds of things. The thing I want you to do is pick some part of your topic that interests you the most. If you've already read the whole article on the World Book Encyclopedia, you should already have a good understanding of your topic. So now you want to focus on the thing about your topic that interests you the most. So I'm going to do climate change, but I really am curious about how climate change affects animals. So I'm going to add the word animals and ignore what Google has given me. But as you can see, I continue to type, and Google continues to give me suggestions. So I really like this specific suggestion of animal extinction. That's what I'm really interested in. And so just by reading as I type, I'm able to find a suggestion for good words that I can use from my search. Google helps me out with this. So I'm going to click on animal extinction. Now that Google has brought back all of its possible websites for me to do my research on, I need to look at a couple of things. First, every entry that Google brings back has three parts. It has the URL, or the link to the website itself. It has the title, like this one, Impact of Climate Change, and it also has a snippet of text, usually just a sentence that tells me a little bit about what I asked for within that website. So it's a really good idea to read that snippet of text and make sure this website is actually bringing me back the information I want. Another thing to consider is you don't just want to go with the very top one. I think a lot of students just click the top one and assume that that's the best one. A good idea is to scroll and actually look at multiple options before you pick. And one of the reasons for that is you want to make sure you pick the topic, or the website that's got the best, most trustworthy information. So I'm looking at the URLs, or the address for the website. This tells me exactly how to get to that website on the internet. And I see that this one is something I don't really recognize, IUCN.org. I don't know what that is. This one, another one I don't recognize. This one is CNN.com. Well, I know CNN is a news channel, so I feel like, okay, if I'm getting it from the news, that's probably good information. I also have this one, worldwildlife.org. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because I know it's talking about animals because it's wildlife. It's a .org, which means it doesn't want to sell me anything. .coms mean commercial, so it means a website that could be selling me something. And I like that it's a company that I've heard of before. I heard of the World Wildlife one, so I'm going to give that one a try. Let me read the snippet of text just to make sure it makes sense for me. So this says, make a symbolic polar bear adoption to help save some of the world's most endangered animals from extinction and support WWF's conservation efforts. That sounds like something that I'm pretty interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. Once I click on it, it's going to open the website. And before I make my decision, I need to be looking at a couple of things. One, I want to see who wrote this website. I can usually do that by clicking the About page. This website has the About Us section right at the top. So by clicking on this, I can find out who are the people that made it? Are these professional people who care about animals? Are these people who don't care about animals and don't care about climate change? What is their credentials to get me to read their information? So I read through this and I decide, yes, this is a good website. I trust these people. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back to the part that I originally pulled up. I feel like that's got good information that I can trust. Now it's time for me to do my reading. I can't just glance, say it's a good website, and then just move on. I've got to read, right? I've got to find a paragraph that I want to share with everyone who's going to see my Google slide. So I need to actually read. Well, the first part on here is about sea turtles. That's perfect because I love turtles. They're my favorite. So I'm going to read a little bit more about this turtle and find out if it gives me good information that I can use when I put it on my Google slide. So I'm reading, and you know what? I found out that the paragraph that I prefer is this bottom one, actually. I like what this has to say. So it says, climate change poses a fundamental threat to the places, species, and people's livelihoods WWF works to protect. To adequately address the crisis, we must urgently reduce carbon pollution and prepare for the consequences of global warming, which are already experiencing. WWF works to advance policies to fight climate change, engage with businesses, and help people and nature adapt to a changing climate. And you know what I like about this is because I can have a page on my Google slide that says, for its title, how are we helping animals during climate change, right? So then I can say WWF is helping animals during climate change, and I'm going to copy this information and use this to teach people what they can do. So copying, just like we learned to do with our encyclopedia, I take my cursor, I put it right up against the bottom of where I want to copy and wait for the arrow to change into a line. Then I take two hands, I use one finger to push down and the other finger to drag. And I drag and highlight all the information that I want. Now that it's all highlighted, I take my hands off and it stays the color. It stays blue, so that lets me know it's still highlighted. I did it right. If I messed up, I need to do it again. And now I need to push Control plus, I hope you said C, Control plus C to copy. So I hit Control with one hand, and with my second hand, I hit C. I don't see anything, but I have to trust that it actually worked. Now let's take that information and put it on our notes page. We want all the information on our notes page. You should have already went ahead and pasted your encyclopedia information here at the top where it says a paragraph from the encyclopedia. Now it's time to paste a paragraph from the website. So I'm going to click on the page in an empty space, making sure I put the cursor where I want it. I know where it is because it's blinking now. And now I need to paste it. I paste it by clicking Control with one hand and V with the other. Don't know why it's V, it just is. So Control plus V, paste all the information that I found onto my page. If it doesn't work the first time, try to do it again. If you still can't get it, go ahead and text Miss Mac and I'll help you out. No problem there. Okay, but before I can move on, I have to get the link to the website. So with the encyclopedia, Miss Mac knows where I got the information because she gave me the directions to get it from the encyclopedia. But because this is the website and I found it on my own, I have to tell Miss Mac where I got my information. And as you can see, if you scroll down just a little more, there's a spot for you to put a link to the website there. So I'm going to go back to the website and I'm going to copy the URL. The URL, again, is the web address. It tells me where the website is online. I copy it by clicking on it only one time, and the whole thing turns blue. That lets me know it's highlighted. Then I do Control plus C again. I go back one more time to the notes page, click where I want it to be, and hit Control plus V. Now the URL is on the page and I will be able to, and by I mean Miss Mac, will be able to click on it. And ironically, there it goes. It finally showed up. It's on the page and all Miss Mac has to do is click this and then she can see what website you use. you have to have the website on there. That's going to be used later to create our citation. So please don't forget that part. And once you've done both of these steps, your encyclopedia and your website, and added this link, you are finished. So you'll just click turn in. Now Miss Max doesn't have a turn in button, but you'll click turn in the top right hand corner. Please reach out if you have questions or need help. Thanks again, guys. Good luck.